Ghislaine Maxwell, the accused accomplice of convicted sex offender and sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, was denied bail earlier this week. Following that decision, One America's Caitlin Sinclair spoke with attorney Gloria Allred, who's representing several of those victims.
So, given the outcome of Ghislaine Maxwell's arraignment, can you characterize for us the emotions of your clients?
I'm sure that all of the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, whether or not they were directly victims of Ms. Maxwell, are going to be watching Ms. Maxwell's case with great deal of interest. I think victims want to be able to confront Ms. Maxwell in a court of law, and they don't want their right to have a day in court and justice impaired by Ms. Maxwell suddenly fleeing.
Gloria, you commented specifically about two of your clients, Jane Doe and your client Alicia Arden, crying tears of joy at the court's decision. Given their strong emotional reaction, is it fair to say that they suffered specifically at the hands of Ghislaine Maxwell? And could you characterize the level of abuse and betrayal that she committed against them?
All I can say is that she is charged with conspiracy to groom, to recruit, to also to abuse young women, underage women, for the purpose of sex trafficking them to Jeffrey Epstein. Those are very serious charges when talking about sexual abuse of children.
So very little is known about Maxwell's motivations and how fierce her loyalty might have been or still is to Epstein. But given what she is now facing, do you think she will fully cooperate?
It's tough in there. That's going to put a lot of pressure on her. Is she going to want to try to make a deal? Maybe. Is the government going to offer a deal? We don't know. And if so, to what? And what's she going to have to do to get the deal? She knows quite a bit. She knows the rich, the powerful, the famous men who were part of Jeffrey Epstein's circle and in his orbit and at his parties and stayed at his homes. She has a lot of knowledge of what they did there. Does she have evidence to offer against those powerful men? Does she have photos? Does she have video? What does she have that she could offer that the government doesn't already know? Is she willing to sit and answer all questions truthfully about anybody they want to ask her about, including Prince Andrew? We'll have to wait and see.
And speaking of Prince Andrew, you have stated several times your desire to see him come forward. How likely is that to happen?
So far, all we're hearing is a bunch of excuses about why he hasn't provided his statement to the FBI. Now, maybe he's saying that he would give a written statement, but not an in-person interview.
Excuse after excuse seems to be all we're getting. Let's please talk a little bit further about these women who are brave enough to come forward despite multiple efforts to silence them. What do you think would help these victims find some sort of closure?
I think what they're looking for is justice, and they're looking for truth. They're looking for transparency. It's all overdue. They still don't have the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. They don't have transparency, and they don't have full justice. There is a claims procedure that's been established, and I'm representing many of Jeffrey Epstein's victims and accusers in that claims process in New York, where we're going to present their claim. It's going to be funded by the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, but the claims administrators who are going to decide on the awards are not from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein.
Gloria, what would happen to an Alicia Arden today, a woman whose original complaint 23 years ago, if taken seriously, could have changed the course of history for so many? I mean, has there been enough of a change in the system that wealth and power would no longer offer protection for perpetrators such as Epstein?
I think the system is still not what it should be for victims' rights, for women's rights, to really get full accountability for victims who have been victims of gender violence, rape, sexual assault, sexual abuse.
Is there anything else you think our viewers should know at this time?
I would say if you have any information about Ms. Maxwell or Jeffrey Epstein, please come forward. You can contact me or you can contact law enforcement. It's not too late, and we still want justice for the victims, and everyone who has any information can and should help.
And we will continue to fight for that justice. Gloria, thank you so much.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.